Hey folks, welcome to our latest episode of Football is Live. There, get the fingers going. We're back. It's been a little bit of a break. I was away for work last week, so we didn't manage to get one out. So we've got a lot to cover. Need to get through it all. I know Waza, we only got you for half an hour, which you're probably glad of, given the current situation. But yes, look, we're going to start. We're not going to start with title race. We're going to start with the most recent things that happened. So we're going to start with Champions League, right? So what was a very well, Mike, you and I can do a little right? We're dancing, but the English teams
what a show or not
ugly. They got bumped, Mike. As we say in Scotland, you got bumped. So yeah, I mean, look, it's obviously Newcastle, Chelsea, both really
Chelsea,
humble.
you love to see it.
You do. Like Tottenham. Tottenham showed at least a little bit of fight in that game, and then obviously we have Man City. We've got fairly comprehensively beaten by a Real Madrid team that are certainly no Madrid of old. So what do we think that there's an explanation for this shift? Look, we're seeing it in the Premier League. There's lots of chat about the league as the standard is really poor this year overall. And is this just a translation and validation of that as you're seeing the Bayern Munichs, the PSGs, the Barcelonas? I mean, outside of Arsenal, it looks like there was no English teams close to competing. Liverpool with an easier draw against Galatasaray, obviously Arsenal with and also was a more favourable tie, right? Yeah. So I mean, the level of competition is we're not playing Barcelona, Atletico Madrid, Real Madrid, or PSG. Liverpool will meet PSG next. We're in the tough side of the draw. Arsenal have Sporting, which feels like another bye. But then they'll probably get the winner of Atletico Barcelona, I believe, is the way the tie goes. Is that right? I think. And then Liverpool get Real or Bayern, which is horrendous.
That is definitely the tougher side of the draw.
Yes. So anyway, what's our take on this? Like English, we need to come to you because Mike and I are going to be like, well, our teams are awesome. Like, we got through easily. But like, talk about City, maybe the other English teams. Anything? Yeah. What do you think's going on there in terms of the Champions League? Is it just a translation of the way the Premier League is this year, and there's been a huge drop off in the general standard? Oh, you're on mute. There you go.
We go.
Wait.
You're in. We've got you.
You got me?
Yeah.
You got me. Good old. There we go. Right. What do I think?
Yeah.
I mean, let's look at the oppositions throughout that entire thing, right? Real Madrid are not brilliant, but they are still pretty good when you have Mbappe, Vinny, like Valverde doing absolute worldies, etc., etc. Plus, also, the hold they have on this competition is just weird and twisted and sick. I have no idea how it works. I just think that, and also PSG are just substantially better than Chelsea. We know this. Like, Chelsea are a bit of a weird one. Like, I don't really understand if they're good or not this year. Newcastle against Barcelona, like Barcelona are just a very good team, right? Like, so there are legitimately difficult opponents there. You would expect Arsenal to beat a Leverkusen team that has had every good player ripped out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And you would expect Liverpool to beat Galatasaray. The only other team that I can imagine that they should beat more easily is going to be something like Fenerbahce or like Besiktas, if that ever happened, right? So let's also put this in perspective that the teams that, and given the run of form for City, like I'm not surprised that we got spanked by Real. Bernardo Silva's an idiot for that challenge. Like that just killed the tie. The second he got that red card, it was a stupid thing for him to do. That just completely killed the tie.
Because they started brilliantly in the second game.
That's the thing. We started well. We were doing well. And then he goes ahead and just sticks his arm out. And that's just stupid. But you know what?
You also got the first leg. You also got
absolutely. But did you see the goals? Like they no one's saving half like two of those goals from Valverde. That's ridiculous.
Donnarumma's he's not a top he's not playing like a top level goalie at the moment.
It's the defense in front of him which is allowing things to happen fundamentally. But with regard, what's that?
Oh, who called that? Who called?
I don't think it's calling. I don't think that you can look outside and it's raining and then say, "Oh, it's going to be wet later." Like, come on, that's the most obvious. The fact that we've had like Elliot Anderson and just Nottingham Forest come back from 2-0 down, like I think is testament to the fact that our defense this entire year has been crap.
I keep all the receipts, Waza. If you want to watch that, Michael backed me up here. I'm pretty sure on this podcast weeks ago I said, when everyone was talking about Arsenal folding, I said, Man City, I don't trust them this year. They're going to drop more points than Arsenal. and because their defense is so shaky. And by the way, Waz, I want to ask you about Pep is that team he picked out of Madrid, like Savinho out of nowhere, Semenyo.
Yeah, I have no idea what he was doing with that. Like
Mark Gahey got benched at the Etihad, and Ruben Diaz got made to look like he looked like Radu Dragusin.
Honestly, at this point, he may have just been looking forward to the fixture at the weekend, because when it comes to like a knockout competition like the FL Cup, like it's anyone's competition. Like league form completely dies out at that point. But I don't understand. But but focusing on the original question around like is it reflective of the quality of the league right now? Yeah, absolutely. Like I don't think that the Premier League is currently at an all-time high in terms of quality. Like it's just not. I'm not entirely sure why, but like I mean, it's competitive in the sense that most of the teams are crap. Like they're just underperforming massively, right? And all you need to do is have a reasonably good defense, like a very good defense. Like credit to Arsenal on that, but like that seems to be the sticking point here. No other team in the league has a defense by the looks of things. But I mean, you look at the Europa League and the Conference League, right? English teams are doing well there, but that's because they have more going forward rather than needing to think about the defense in that respect. While Champions League, you do have to focus on the defense a little bit more, right? But I don't know. It's just a bit of a shame to see so many English teams just whimper out so pathetically. And the actual draw, like one side is completely different to the other. Like I think like Arsenal getting knocked out by Bodo Glimt is a higher chance than them like getting knocked out by Barcelona at this stage. Like I don't know. It's ridiculous. I don't understand what's happening. Oh wait, no, Bodo Glimt lost to Lisbon, didn't they?
Yeah, they beat them 3-0 and lost 5-0.
Dear God.
So, I mean, I'm sure Arsenal are shaking in their boots at the thought of facing one of those two teams, Mike.
Yes.
Yeah, like, what do you make of it? I mean, look, Chelsea are managed by ultimately a shite David Brent, which probably so there's that. Pep is just again doing his usual. Again, I don't know what he's doing. Like in those, to me, Man City that Real Madrid team are not a good Real Madrid team. Like, I'm sorry, they are not a really like top Real Madrid team. I think City that's a winnable tie. Yeah, Chelsea. I say Chelsea are right off. Tottenham. What's the point even talking about Tottenham in the Champions League? It feels crazy. They shouldn't. This is why this Europa. They shouldn't be in it. They're not good enough. And then you have Newcastle. I actually thought like they should have beat Barcelona by more at home, and they actually were really competitive in the first half, and it just kind of it fell away. In Barcelona, they were getting at Barcelona. They created chances. You can see that Barcelona play that high line. Newcastle had a game plan. Yeah, I think just a bit of quality, and maybe they gassed out there. So maybe they're the only team you might give a little bit. I know the score was horrendous if you look at it. Yeah. But yeah, how do you assess all those teams, and obviously Liverpool and Arsenal? How do you assess their, our chances and your chances winning this whole thing?
I mean, largely, I agree with what Wazza said about the ties in that round. I think, with the exception of City, everything went as it should have. I was, before the first match, I would have expected City because of the difference in the Real Madrid team this year to have made that a little bit more of a competitive match. But then when they went down the way they did in the first one, there was zero chance of them coming back. So I agree that, everything kind of fell the way it should have. I think Arsenal has a very favorable draw and has a very legit opportunity to make it happen this year. If we were in Liverpool's side of the draw, I think it would, and the fact that we're still in all four competitions, I think that would make it a lot more difficult, or, Arteta would have to prioritize which of these does he really not care about, with rotation and things like that. So I think there's a legit chance for Arsenal to do the business here. But I also agree that the quality of the Premier League overall this year compared to years past is off it.
Yeah, it's poor. Yeah, and I mean, look, my assessment is that I think Arsenal. It's kind of crept up on everyone. It feels like the quadruple feels very.
No. Stop it.
That's
There's no quadruple. Stop it.
There could be. Going to keep saying.
Look,
look, Sunday to me though, Mike, just go with me on this. If they win on Sunday, right?
Yeah.
If they win, I think then like, you kind of go, because like it feels like there's this momentum swing with Arsenal now. There's a bit more belief, like they're starting to maybe be a bit more comprehensive in the I know the scorelines aren't always completely wild, but in terms of like performance, so you do have to start talking about and thinking about. With that draw, it looks like they're going to get to a semi-final of the Champions League. So it's a two-legged tie to get to a final against one of the Spanish teams that I think Arsenal are well placed to deal with, like out of all the English teams because of their defensive quality, and they've got quality to hurt. You could see how Newcastle hurt Barcelona, right? So yeah, I think that's something you have to talk about in terms of Liverpool. Look, I say the same thing. You've got to beat the best to win these tournaments. So we're going to have to go through it. I mean, look, the PSG tie, and then you have another tough tie. But what I think we showed midweek is the Anfield factor is still a real factor in the Champions League on those nights. And it's more about, can we stay alive in ties in the other leg? Because the Anfield factor can be the thing. And I think Champions League it's not always the best team in Europe that wins it. I don't think it's a really hard one to win for that reason. So yeah, I mean, I was saying there's no way we can win it. I think now looking at PSG, but I don't think PSG are as good as they were last time we faced them. We took them to penalties, and probably the only team to do that. So it's a really tough tie, but I think that because our season hangs on that ultimately now, it's that we're in the cup, but like that is the season. You could sense that urgency with the players. They know that. I think that's going to be. I think it makes us compelling, and because we have experience in this team of like Champions League nights and these big ties, I think we're an outside chance. We're probably the bottom of the list in terms of the teams on our side in terms of who'd be favoured to get to the final. Anfield is a factor, as everyone saw again. With Galatasaray trying to waste time, and I'm glad. I love what Arne Slot said after the game. By the way, I don't know if you heard it. I've never seen him so animated. They knew what they were going to do. And I think he just called out the officials. He said, like, I feel like I've tried to talk to them and explain, are you seeing this? Can you deal with this? And he said, I'm now at the point where this is what I've got to draw more attention, because it's like he said, people have got to start, if people are just obviously time wasting, it's incumbent on the officials to deal with that appropriately. And I thought he spoke really well, because it is killing the game. It's not, nobody wants to see that. Even if you're a Galatasaray fan, I don't think you're enjoying watching just going, and I think they got what they deserved. Like, you go there with that mentality, you deserve to be hammered, right, and embarrassed, because it is a bit embarrassing. I think if they're not a bad team, and Liverpool are not in great form. I don't know why they come with that mindset. Considering that we have weaknesses and they could definitely score, right? But they were dreadful against us. So we played really well. So yeah, it was good. Okay, let's switch it to the title. Is it over, Waza?
Yeah, I mean, it's been over since November, right? Like December, like when we first slipped, it was very much a blink once thing. City will keep dropping points, right? If we can somehow pull out a result this weekend, amazing. But I just don't see it. Like there is no race. There is no race. Like
over.
We're basically looking for Arsenal to slip up now. Like even Rodri's like, yeah, we're going to keep going till the end. I mean, maybe it's a bit too much now, but we're going to keep going. I mean, of course you are. Like you're getting paid ridiculous amounts. If you start taking your foot off the gas, what the hell is wrong with you? So like, I'm not really. Yeah, the race is done. It's more so a case of seeing what happens in the cups now. That's what I'm more focused on, because we're in the FA Cup, we're in the Carabao Cup final this weekend. Like maybe we can get some stringed up performances there. Maybe we can try and keep hold of second. But ultimately, it's just completely lackluster. Like Arsenal are not going to slip up with the remaining fixtures.
I'm not willing to say it's over until after we visit the Etihad.
See, to be honest, man, I think what I'd say is this. I think if Man City won every game, I think they win the league.
I don't.
Because I think there's to your point, Mike, with Arsenal being in so many competitions, I do think there will be like a draw or two or a defeat. So I think it could come down to like that. I think, but the problem is, as I said earlier in the season, I do not trust this City remotely to win all their games. They're not the City team. When Liverpool and City were going toe-to-toe, both teams are winning every game. I mean, Arsenal are showing a bit of like they're just finding ways against. I mean, they probably should have got beaten against Everton. To be honest, they played.
Oh my god!
They got outplayed by Everton.
That was the most agonising watch in the world. It was the most painful game to watch.
I want to tell you, David Moyes is, people have this thing about these young managers. Like David Moyes has been in the game forever. My God, like a guy like him is so underappreciated. Like what a job he's done there. Like that is
for sure.
And if you look at the table, and listen, if they should have won that game, and if they had, they'd have been 3 points behind Liverpool for fifth. Like they've had a miraculous season with Grealish out and Jai was away. Like they've had so many things. And I think they went and played. That's how you beat Arsenal. Don't be scared of them. Went and played, and they were the better team, 100%. And what not for, a fortunate goal, I would say, a little bit fortunate, and some poor finishing from Everton. The game could have been different. But I do think that there'll be a little slip up from Arsenal. But I just think City will have more. And look, could City beat Arsenal at the Etihad, Mike? 100%. That's the sort of game that you go. Like they could win at the weekend. I'm not saying they can't do it in a one-off game. I'm talking over the next 7 games. Like there is no consistency in that Man City team at the moment. Their goalie's not playing well. Their defense is all over the place. Their midfield. You know what the weird thing is? It's like the thing is about Arsenal. You know the team, Mike, right? In terms of like forget rotation, like you know who the guys are.
Yeah.
Who's going to play where?
Yeah.
Right. It's settled. Man City, you feel like
the crapshoot every week.
We'll chuck this guy in. It's like. Yeah, so I just think they're not going to be consistently good enough to win it. Haaland's been terrible.
He has been like, I don't know what's going on with him.
I think the big problem is like, just let's take a second, right? Do we think Pep knows what his strongest 11 is? At this point in the season, do we think he knows it? I do not think
based on the rotation that he's doing, I don't think he has.
I don't think he does. And that's the thing, right? In previous seasons, he's ended up with this pretty much the same starting 11, like week in, week out in February. Like he basically takes close to half a season to figure out what his best 11 is. And right now he's still shuffling the deck. Like this is
the problem this year is that that's not been a problem previously, because what he's done typically is he's rotated the wingers and maybe like one of the midfielders. It's the back line. That's what I'm about Arsenal, Mike. Yeah. Like your back line is your back line. Like who's playing there.
Barring injury, who the starting four are every match. Yeah,
and you've got a replacement for all those. Yes. So it's like even if they don't, it's like people slot. So it's like their structure. They know they are all on the same page. Like the boy Kusinov, whatever his name is, like he's actually done quite well, but he's a bit like Mickey Van de Ven. He looks like a headless chicken. He's super fast, so he's impressive to like bail them out. Gahey is just like trying to do everything himself, right? He's but he's not made really much of an impact, I would argue. Ruben Diaz looks like a shadow of a player. I think they're missing Gvardiol a lot. I actually think he's a really good player. I think he's underrated, actually. And then they're switching, like, they've got Nunez at right back. They play him. They've got O'Reilly going in, or do they play Ait Nouri? Like, it just feels like it's all like
it's all over the place. It's all over the place.
You just got to go, look, this is, and I think that's his big mistake this year that's cost them. It's been they've not been able to keep goals out at the other end, and I do think some of the chemistry up top, like with Haaland not firing, like they've become a little bit too dependent on him. Semenyo started well, but Foden's not producing anything. Like you don't really get an awful lot from anyone else in that team at the moment, right? So
I think that's the other thing too, is that like Foden for a period was on fire, and now he's like completely vanished, and I think that's part of why the starting 11 is such a there's been such inconsistency from the players that it's been really hard to lock in on a starting 11. Maybe some of that's because of the rotation that he's been playing and people aren't being able to play into form. Like I think one might be feeding the other, but yeah, it's a mess over there.
I think there's also something else to be said, which is basically like we started the season, I'd say reasonably well. Like I didn't think we were doing terribly. I thought that we were like still being aggressive. We were still pushing teams back. We were being far more direct. Like Reinders was doing really well.
Yep.
And then some reason partway through the season, he just goes, nah, you know what? Let's revert to how we used to play. And it's like, what is happening? You've got some really fantastic players at your disposal who are far more direct, but you're choosing not to play them.
Reinders was like, I had him in early, and it was like 5 million watt steal. He looked like, and he started the season so well,
yeah.
And he's to me, he's like with Rodri not having been, he's starting to look more like himself, but not having been that way. He's got that engine, that box to box engine. Obviously, Bernardo Silva probably doesn't have it, and he's been really good this season, Bernardo Silva. But so you're kind of going, I don't understand how you can justify, like, he just felt like such a nail on, but Pep, again, it's almost like if something's too obvious, Pep's like, I've got to rethink it.
Yeah, exactly.
And find a way to try and be smarter than everyone. So when it comes off and it's like, well, But yeah, anyway.
But the thing is, like, fundamentally, right? Like, we have lost one of the most creative players that the Premier League has ever seen, but Pep is still trying to play in that same sort of format, like as if we still had KDB, and it doesn't work. It doesn't work. I mean, and also the emphasis on Rodri coming back. Like, we need to not, like, surely the first time he got injured, there should have been a concept of like, okay, we're not going to find a player like Rodri again, which means that the actual game plan, which revolves completely around Rodri, cannot feasibly succeed. So what is the new game plan? Like, how, because like not every team has Declan Rice, not every team has Rodri, not every team, like look at Liverpool, they don't have players of that caliber, but they still do well. So like the game plan just has not shifted from Pep at all. And that's been the real problem here. And along with the whole rotation side of things, like it's been just an absolute farce. So like it's all expected. Like none of this is news. Like none of this is surprising that this has happened. It's more so just a shame because we have quality players. That's not up for debate. They're just not being used properly.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. It's I think it's done. I think it's going to be Arsenal will grind their way to a Premier League title that I think they deserve. So yeah, Mike, I know you're not ready to celebrate yet, Mike, but I think good times are coming. Let's see what happens on Sunday.
I think they'll get at least 2 trophies. I think they'll get at least 2 trophies.
Who wins on Sunday, Mike?
Arsenal.
Yeah, I think Arsenal, but I will be interested to see what the team selection is. Arsenal doesn't play a league match for a month.
Yep.
So it'll be interesting to see what he does, because we've got this and then we've got this international break crap and all this other stuff before we get back to it, right? So
yeah,
I'd be interesting to see what he does, because I think that I think Arteta is going to put more of an emphasis on the match at the Etihad for the league than he is even this. Like I think, I don't know. I think Arsenal should win, but it's really going to come down to what the starting 11 looks like and how he sets it up.
I honestly believe that if Pep goes in with a defensive team, we will automatically lose on the spot. Like he has to go absolutely hell for leather. There's no point in holding back. Like the season is done. The best hope that you have.
Honestly, Wazzy, you're right, because it's actually more than that. My argument would be if City went hell for leather and managed to beat Arsenal and back that up with a performance, I think that's something that goes right. That could be, like momentum can swing then, right? It's just, I think that this almost becomes like, this is their whole season. Like, it's like, I just think if Arsenal win this on Sunday, which I expect them to do, the league has got, like, I think it's inevitable then, right? That there's just that, whereas if you can manage to lay a glove and go, right, we can steal that. And then there's that does create some pressure, right? That's one cup that's gone. Then it becomes about, and again, if they can win their games in hand and take them to the Etihad and even keep, it's like, just keep it, it keeps the pressure on. Then you get the big Champions League ties that they're going to be in. City don't have the European games. So I think City have got to go in with, like you say, it's not just like winning it, but it's winning it with a statement to really put, but I just don't think they've got the chops to do. I think Arsenal are better than them.
It's the thing is, this is the issue. It's not about the players. Like this season has not been an issue with the players. It's been an issue with Pep. Like let's be perfectly honest about it. The players have the mentality.
Is it time for him to move on? Are you done? Are you ready?
100%. Like 100%. I think last year was the sort of, you could see the cracks, and this season is sort of very much the fact that he has not adapted since Rodri has left the building a bit, like is a damning indictment. Like I would love for someone, just some fresh blood. Like I know that everyone says better the devil you know, but I'm confident we would land a good manager. It's not like we would go and land Igor freaking Tudor. Like it's not going to be like that.
just get Big Anjan for shits and giggles. Why not?
There you go.
I would genuinely be very happy with someone like Nagelsmann. I'd be very happy with someone like Hertzler. Like I would be happy with these, or even Oliver Glasner. Like he's a good manager. Like these kind of managers, they're good. They will be able to do a good job. I just think Pep's like he needs a break. He needs to stop.
Okay. Well, listen. Let's move on to the title race. Well, no, sorry, not title. Move on from the title race and talk about the race for Europe. So. This is where we focus. Man United are the ones that are looking like, as it kind of felt like anyway, they're going to take advantage of not being in Europe. Their league form has been pretty solid. They play Bournemouth tonight. They have struggled against Bournemouth 4-4 last time. Epic game. Hope for more of the same tonight in terms of a spectacle. They're certainly going well. And then it looks like, again, 2 of 3. It looks like United are going to be top 4 cemented, probably going to finish 3rd. And then it looks like it's either Aston Villa, Liverpool, or Chelsea are going to... It looks that way. And again, there could be an outsider that comes if Everton, one of the teams below, that could find a way to win a bunch of games, because Chelsea, Liverpool, and Villa have been so inconsistent. So they're almost leaving the door open a little bit. And I look below them, Brentford in 45, Everton 43, Newcastle 42. You're probably,
I think they're too far off.
Well, Newcastle 7 points, maybe too far. Everton 6, probably the ones that are them and Brentford, again, would need to have... Go and win.
They have a worldly finish. Yeah.
Well, yeah, exactly. But again, given the fact that, look, Villa, again, balancing Europe, and Villa have been very up and down. Liverpool, I mean, the Tottenham game was insipid.
Yeah.
Insipid. Like, it was like, and I think the thing as a Liverpool fan, what I want to say is, like, I think it's like, like, you might know, like, people in your personal life, like these couples that are like on and off. You know what I mean? They're like, they're like wildly in love, and then they hate each other, and then they're back together, then they hate each other. It's like this yo-yo. The couples I mean, right? They're just like, ugh. That's how it feels right now. I swear to God, after the Tottenham game, I was like that. Fuck it, I'm done. Get him out. I was done. And then midweek happens, and I'm kind of like, and then I hear him after the game saying things that I believe in about the time waste. I'm going, oh God, I'm just so fucking confused. I swear to God, like, I'm so confused, because I'm like that top, like, do you know what it is? It's like, I think what's happened here is, like, you can see, like, look, Salah, I was absolutely like slaughtering him against Galatasaray in the first half, because he just looks like half interested. Like, he just doesn't look that present, right? So I'm like, if that's the case, just get rid of him. Just get him out. Like, I'd rather him not be there. Then he scores, obviously, one of his classic Mo Salah goals. And you can see he's still got, like, I just don't know. And I think there's just, like, I'm really torn, right, in terms of, like, what to do with Arne, because I was at that Tottenham performance that I swear to God, like, we got outrun by a Tottenham team. We were just like, I know we went 1-0 up, usual Sabaz, like, we're just like, but we just, like, allowed them back into the game. They're crap. They had so many people injured, and it's like, I think what I'm resigned to, boys, is like, if he somehow gets top 4, let's say we finish 4th, right, which is probably the best finish we could have in the league. Yeah. If he gets 4th, if he manages to maybe, even if, see if we get past PSG and got to semi, like, something like that, I think there's probably, because he won the league last year, I would lean slightly towards, okay, get rid of Mo, like, let's try and, like, freshen things up a little bit. You feel McAllister might move on. You feel that there's a little bit of freshening up. Kanate is probably going to go. Again, more change, but I'm kind of leaning like he maybe would earn the start of next season. And the other thing is, what, like I'm trying to, who we get. Like, I'm not sold in Xavi Alonso 3 at the back. I don't know. Like, I'm not sold in that idea either. I don't know.
I think I don't think that he should stay. Like, I think that he's basically
yeah.
Like, I think that he's Manuel Pellegrini, but with less good hair. Like, he's come in, taken the lead, and then
his head is always so shiny. It's like,
but the thing is, like, let's be honest. You should have trampled on Galatasaray in the first leg. Like, you have the quality, you have the players, you have, like,
away from home, we're terrible. We just can't.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, how many away matches do you still have? Like, math it out. Like, how many away matches? What are Liverpool's remaining fixtures?
But the thing is, we're away to Brighton this weekend, which, again, Brighton we know will go at us. That's a banana. Again, I think this thing, if he can't back that performance up with we need to go and beat Brighton. We just have to go and win that game. Like, there's no other way. Like, all these games are must wins now. So he's got to show us that he can do that. My problem with Slot is, like, it all feels like this is it's all here. Like, you can see against it, like, the quality of players we have, we've still got really good quality players. It's just there's a mentality that, we are. It's like 11 guys playing separately. We're not cohesive in our pressing. We're not cohesive. The fundamentals of our work rate, our aggression, to me, are all out the window. And that comes from, like, a culture that the manager sets. And I do think the Mo Salah thing probably if you have, like, a really seasoned player like that, I mean, we all have worked in business, right? If you've got somebody who, the worst person you can have is, like, a really fucking high performer that's toxic, because they'll ruin your team culture, right? Whereas if they're like a low performer and they're toxic, nobody cares because nobody listens to them, right? So I do think there's an element of this happening. And I wonder, like, if you remove that bad egg, like, remember Aubameyang at Arsenal, Mike? You know, it was like clear to Arteta.
Yeah, you gotta get rid of it. Yep.
Get him out. And I think Salah, with the way he dealt with that, may have become that, looking at his body language. And I think
definitely checked out.
He's checked out. So they may as well just said, right, go to Saudi on loan in January. Just like get rid of him. Just say, go to the African Cup of Nations and don't come back, because you don't want to be here, right? Or you don't want to be here under this manager. Yeah. So that's fine. And then let's bring Harvey Elliott back. I don't know. Like, give Chiesa. I don't know. You just got to give guys minutes. But yeah, do you need to go, Wazza?
I need to go.
Cheers. But yeah, do you know what I mean, Mike? So it's like, yeah, it's tough, and it's messed up our visuals now. Look, because Wazza's gone. It's like, yeah, typical. But anyway, yeah. Who do you think then, Mike? Do you think, like, out of Chelsea, Villa, and Liverpool, who, if I said right now you got to put your house in it, who's going to finish fourth? But out of the three, who's the one that's going to get that fourth spot? Because does fifth get it now that even the English team's got?
I don't know. Like it's everyone should be fighting for fourth. I feel like Villa has really lost the plot a bit, and I think that they're ripe to be caught. And you're only 2 points back. With Chelsea, there's more of a gap there, and I just think that they're not quite on it either. So I feel like Liverpool's got the best chance, but I think it all comes down to how well can Villa find themselves again?
We all play each other. So we play Villa, United, and Chelsea. Okay, so you've got, and again, I look at the fixtures. The only thing I would say, look, Villa's still in Europe. Villa's fixtures, actually, they're running now. On paper, it looks a little bit easier. Chelsea have got they've got quite a few tough ones in there. And we're more similar to Chelsea. We're probably slightly easier. Yep. But we do have a lot of away games. So I would say that Villa, on the face of it, Chelsea now no European football, though. I would say that does help. Yeah. And our squad is not deep. Like, that's my worry. Is, see, when those Champions League weeks comes, we have to prioritize those games against a bit like PSG. And I think that's where teams will be like, right, great, we've got Liverpool this weekend. Like, you know, that I think is going to be tough. So if Chelsea were still in Europe, I actually would say we might just eke it out because we've got a little bit more quality. But I actually think Chelsea have a little bit of an advantage now, being out of Europe. Whereas Villa, I think in those European weeks, we'll see what happens this weekend. Villa obviously played midweek. Now Chelsea did too this week, but let's see what happens. How if we show up more like we did against Tottenham, against Brighton, I'm massively concerned. If we don't win, again, we've got to win those games because the tougher games are coming for us. And that Tottenham game had to be won. This is the problem. We've given away the easy fixtures a lot. And then we'll show up in the big games, but they can just go, you know, it can be a moment of quality. So we will see what happens. Okay, what about the relegation battle, Mike? Down the bottom.
Look, if you would have told me at the start of the season that Tottenham would be where they are, I would have been thrilled, but I wouldn't have believed you. Forest and West Ham are finding themselves and picking up points, and Spurs are in deep shit.
Yeah, and Leeds they've gone off the boil a bit, but they definitely, if you feel like there's points that at home they're pretty good, but they're right. I think anyone that Palace are safe, Sunderland are at 39-40, they're going to
It's going to come down to Leeds, Tottenham, Forest, and West Ham for that last spot. But I just feel like Forest and West Ham, I trust those managers more, and I just think that they're going to find a way to. I mean, they're a point behind Spurs right now.
Yeah, so I'm going to say Forest and West Ham have pretty horrendous fixtures.
They do.
Tottenham's are probably not quite as bad.
But does it matter?
But Leeds have got the best running. Leeds have got they've got the best running. So yeah, it's tough to call me, but I think Tottenham. I mean, look, Tottenham. I mean, the Liverpool game. To me, that was more about us.
That was a shocker.
Yeah, and then Atletico, they actually showed up all right in that one. So I think now again, do they back that up? Who have they got this weekend, Tottenham? Nottingham Forest at home. So that to me is like
that should be a barn burner.
If they actually, that's the game of the week for me. If Nottingham Forest win that game, holy shit, right? So the pressure on that game is going to be enormous. Now, the good news is Forest went to extra time, went to penalties, they played midweek. So there's a bit of a leveler there for Tottenham. So there's no disadvantage there.
And
so
they're home too, and they suck at home. Like,
it's going to be interesting.
That is the and it's in the last match block on Sunday. That is for sure. And West Ham's playing. I mean, 3 of those 4 teams actually. Well, Villa just trying to stay in top 4. Those 2 games should be fire.
100%, mate. It's going to be good. Okay, well let's switch our focus to fantasy football, Mike. What have you been? This is the week we've been building up to. I've made my changes. I used my free transfers. I was banking them up. So I've made a few moves that I'll talk through. But I know that you're a fantasy guru. So what are you like? Any advice for players? What are you thinking at this juncture? I know you've saved up your transfers now. How many?
I did, and I'm rolling again. So leading into this, I was able to navigate. And I've got 3 non-playing players sitting on the bench. So I've got 11 that are starting, and I'm happy with that. And now this is where information and transfers are like the currency. And so there's a couple of things to think about. There's kind of 2 strategies right now. There's a wild card 32, bench boost 33, free hit 34. That's one, if you've got all those chips. The other is free hit 33, wild card 35, and bench boost 36. And the pivot point is who wins in the FA Cup.
Correct.
If City win, then you want the latter. If Liverpool win, you want the former. And that's going to depend on how it all shakes out. Thankfully, with Chelsea, with Crystal Palace winning yesterday, the whole will there be a very late game week 31 match, and do they bring City and Palace back into that game week? That all went away, and so that's not going to happen. So it really comes down to that. And if you have all 3 chips, I would just wait through this interminably long stretch we're going to have after game week 31 to see what happens in the FA Cup matches, to see what happens with injuries
as well, because injuries happen.
This is the information is critical now to make your decision on which of those 2 chip strategies you want to go with. Looking at what the likely doubles and blanks are right now, I think I'm on the free hit 33 motion. I had been kind of planning on bench boost 32, but I've got a pretty decent team going into 32 right now with the fixtures the way they are. So it's really going to come down to, does anybody get hurt and what happens with that Liverpool City match?
Yeah, so I did something a little bit spicy. As you know me, I like to always buck the trends here. So I decided I saved up my free transfers, and I actually decided to completely empty out of Man City players. So
I only have 1 right now anyway.
So I emptied out, because again, with the whole changing of people and stuff like Gahey, Semenyo's a bit in and out. Haaland's been off the ball. I know I could regret this, especially with Haaland, but I decided to do that because I looked at the fixtures. I brought in Ekitike for Haaland because I think net over the next 3 or 4 that. Yep. So again, I've got the money to bring Haaland back when the fixtures ease up if I need to. But I think City are just not, to me, as compelling. I moved off Semenyo. I brought in Buemo in, more of a short-term one, just a bit speculative. And actually brought
that's an interesting one, just because he's kind of been off it, trying to find his place. He was hot playing in the 9, but now it's just he hasn't quite found his form.
I know. I think my bet is he'll play. I'm betting on him. It was a bit of a gamble, him playing up front, against Bournemouth in the next couple of games. Maybe I was looking at Cunha. I was looking at a couple of other options, but he felt like the one. And then I also brought Lewis Hall in instead of Gahey, because I think he's Newcastle's
instead of Chow.
What's that?
Instead of Chow.
Yes, instead of Chow. Yeah, because I think Lewis Hall is playing. If you watch the Newcastle games, he is so advanced in his attacking play. I just think that there's more. Whereas Chow, I'm not quite as hot on, and I'm probably cooler on clean sheets for them. So I'm looking for goals or assists, and I think Hall is so involved. But I'll see.
Interesting. Maybe I would if I had to pick that's the move. The 2 players that a lot of folks are gravitating towards right now are Chow and Gordon. Gordon's on penalties. He's playing up front. There's a lot there, and he's a sneaky number 3 captain pick this week. Bruno's clear number 1, but sneaky number 2 is Wilson, and because of the Burnley match at home. But That's interesting. The two Newcastle players that seem to be coming in the most right now are Chow and Gordon.
Yeah, it was Mbeumo or Gordon. I just was like, with their midweek game, I just think that's a tough. I expect a tough game against Sunderland. I just think Hall. I hope again he's playing. The eye test to me, he's so involved. He scored in the Champions League. I think he's really advanced in a lot of his attacking play. So I've taken a little bit of a gamble there, but I decided to do that and ride that for the next couple of weeks, and then look at the wild card as my plan, like you said, and then see where we land with that. So a bit spicy, a bit of risky. I like doing it. I like to buck the trend.
Yeah, you definitely don't play the template.
Well, no, and I think also like I'm close to you, and again, I was catching ground there. You had a good week last week, but I did.
A nice rank having 71 points, so it was I'm back up to 16K.
So I think for me, there was the way that I've managed to do that is I have taken some risks that have paid off, and I think that's what you got to do, because like you say, it's like if I just play the play, but it's like I'm net.
Well, if you're playing the same player as I am, you won't catch me.
Correct. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And it's also, there's the play that's that you got to take, like, and some of it is just a gut to go. I'm gonna like, and Mbeumo, you're right. But if he gets
he finds it, then he's a great differential right now. Yeah.
Exactly. So so anyway, we'll see what happens. So so looking forward to watching the games. Big cup final. I'm sure you'll be up early for that. I
will indeed.
Yeah, that's it. I can't wait to see the selfies as the red scores. But yes, listen, thanks to everyone for listening. Mike, always a pleasure. And enjoy your weekend, folks. And we'll see you next time.
Cheers.
Cheers.